very common issue that 3.5-ish people have is that they have a very hard time understanding when to farm, when to fight, and what itemization is a big issue. And one of the biggest reasons why itemization is a big issue is because to itemize properly, especially on carries, you need to know what timing window you have or what timing window you should aim for, right? If the enemy team is very late game focused, you want to aim for, if you and your hero is capable of going for early game, you want to aim for early game. You want to go all out on early game, right? Because the chances of you winning the late game again with Juggernaut against not in this lineup, but let's say a Spectre, very low chances, right? And what you want to do is you want to end early because your hero is capable of that. So you want to make team fight pushing sort of oriented items, and you want to end the game. But if it's a different situation where it's an early game lineup ish, early-ish game lineup, and you know you're got a hero who can deal with them early game, so then you want to build late game items and so on and so forth. But it all comes down to assessing what is the timing window of my team? What is the timing window of the enemy team? Is my team going to be able to deal with the timing window of the enemy team without me in the early levels? If yes, then by all means, you don't need to worry about anything. Just go for the late game by yourself. Secure the late game for your team, right? So we're going to look at this particular draft, and this is the issue, right? The best way to help you right now is to look at spend the next 1 hour essentially looking at different drafts and just talking about it. But you're gonna feel like, what the hell? What a waste of time. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna talk in detail about this draft, and then we're gonna go into the game and we're gonna try to skip the early levels because I feel like you said you're not struggling with that. You're struggling with sort of the scalability. So we're going to talk about that. So looking at this lineup, right? So talk me through. I want you to talk me through the timing window. Talk me through what is going to happen at level at like the first 0 to 5 minutes, and then 5 to 10 minutes. Talk me through the timing windows, when who comes online, etc., etc.
Okay. So I guess I thought I would be laning basically solo against the Nature's Prophet. And I thought I would, like, for the most part, get free farm, like not that much harass, and pretty much get to do whatever I wanted. And then I thought, like, basically that because of the PA Invoker, actually, like, just almost all their heroes that, like, we want to end, or like we have a power spike maybe at like pretty early for sure. Maybe when I get I guess, yeah, pretty early, like even just once, like me, Magnus, Darkseer, like I don't know, maybe 10 to like 25 minutes, something like
10 to 25 minutes is most of the game, dude. Yeah,
I
make it
mean,
shorter.
I definitely thought we were stronger until like in basically the Invoker comes online. Um,
Okay.
yeah.
Um.
I guess that was my general understanding, is like that we should be stronger from like basically once we'd have a power spike once we all immediately hit level 6, and then could, I guess, maybe 10 to 15 minutes, and then another like power spike when Magnus and or Legion get blink daggers.
You said 10 to 15 minutes is when you get power spikes when you guys have level 6, and I completely agree with that. But that is the same time, at least Legion Commander, jungling Legion Commander, is going to get her level 6, her Blink Dagger. And because you've got a mid Magnus, he's also going to get the Blink Dagger roughly between that 10 to 50. More accurately, it's going to be between the 12 to 15 minute mark. Both these guys are going to get Blink Daggers between I'd say, 12 to 16 minutes maximum, right? So, yes, that is an intense power spike, right? But
Right.
if you look at your lineup, it's not the ideal pushing lineup. It's not exactly a very heavily pushing lineup, right? So whereas yes, you have a power spike, but that's not your timing window because you can kill the entire enemy team. What are you going to do then? It takes you hours to take down a tower. You're not going to take down the tower before the enemy team comes back up and starts to defend it. Even if you do manage to take it, you're definitely not taking the next one. Pretty much, you have to team wipe them 8 times to be able to get the high ground. Which is not going to happen. So I mean, in the early levels, right? So the first thing that just jumps out to me right now is look at your lineup and look at their lineup and compare the tower pushing capabilities. You've got Invoker with his Exhort, Forge Spirits, Alacrity, takes down towers really really quickly. You've got PA who builds a Desolator. It'll reduce the towers armor. You've got Nature's Prophet. Is the king of pushing. So
Right.
pushing wise, and even Zeus helps with his arc lightning spamming out waves. So pushing wise, they are really really good at pushing, and at the same time, they're really good at de-pushing. So if you suddenly want to siege them or something, you're gonna have a bad day. So you pretty much need to wipe them out in order to be able to take high ground and take towers. Now you look at your lineup and you're like, wow, we don't have anybody. Doxir doesn't take towers. Magnus is horrible at taking towers. Witch Doctor is a support anyway, so you can't blame him. Elsie can take towers really, really quickly, but she needs that extra 100, bonus damage to be able to take towers, right? So, and Juggernaut can take towers, but you have to build for that. And that is what by the time you set off right now, that is what you should have known right now. That my build, forget everything else, because you need to focus on the win scenario. Yes, there are other things that are really, really important, like what we're gonna do when I hit level 6. Do we need to be pushing? Do we need what? All of that stuff, itemization, all that is important. Yes, it is important, but that's not the win scenario. The win scenario is how the hell are we gonna take towers? Are we gonna, how are we gonna push high ground? How are we gonna win against this lineup? And the only way you win is if you itemize to take towers. How do you itemize to take towers? That's up to you. There's many items you can choose to go for. Desolator is one that stands out to me, of course. Maelstrom is a great one for pushing and getting extra attack speed with Desolator to take towers. Mantis Style is really good. Well, Mantis Style is really good anyway on Chug. So it's like you have to be focused on what am I gonna do to take towers. So that's one thing. Second thing is um, whenever you put Enigma, Magnus, these guys in the mix of things, there's always potential for huge comebacks. So what you need to keep in mind is never push too far and try not to fight in places where you don't have vision of Enigma and he can turn the fight around. And similarly, try to fight in places where it's the opposite for you guys, where you can nice, where your Magnus can turn the fight around, or your Magnus can get great RPs. Vision is really important. I think what you did is enough, to be honest. Yes, um, I like you turned back. Okay, let's talk about this a little bit. Not a big deal, honestly. The biggest deal is that you messed up on your camera move. Um, you right here. If you had your camera a bit forward, you probably would have continued on going for this kill. I don't think you get to him because, well, you do have a 10. Oh wow, 20. Okay, you have a 20 movement speed advantage on the guy, so that's a pretty big advantage. So I think you could have killed him if you had your camera a bit forward, but at the end of the day, it's not the biggest thing in the world. It's fine. Um,
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty bad, but
it's not pretty bad. It's fine. It happens. Whatever. Just make sure that next time check people's inventories. Make sure you are vigilant of the fact that they might have like it's a mid hero. It's like automatically he might have a right now he might have a fairy fire. Right now, what I would have liked you to see is immediately put a um what's it called, stick. No, it's not a stick. Magic wand. Magic stick in your inventory. It is a stick. Because you're up against
uh,
a Zeus.
right. Yeah, I think I do get that, but I think I missed like so many last hits at the beginning that I got the quelling blade and then a magic stick. But yeah, okay.
You have the thing is, this is a game where you cannot justify having a quelling blade very early. The Zeus is never gonna try to outlast hit you, right?
Right.
Or deny or whatever, right? So there's no reason for you to get a quelling blade. You should have definitely gone for a stick right off the bat. And your second point should have gone in healing ward, because despite, even if you have stick, it's not going to cover it, because this guy is going to have a lot of mana, and you're going to have a lot of trouble. This is such an idiotic pull. Like, why would you pull the enemy creeps here? and now he's farming them as well. Like, what the hell?
Yeah,
Anyway,
it was
yeah. So
pretty unusual.
that magic wand is gonna keep you alive for days because it gives you HP and then it gives you mana for healing for. So and there's no way Zeus can cancel that. Essentially, this is an easy lane, is what I'm trying to say to you. But you let's see what happens. Skip a little bit. This should be a really easy lane, but you need a magic stick for that because you don't have mana to sustain yourself or to sustain your. Um, See, at this point, what you could have done is you could have put the healing ward in the backpack and gotten the magic stick.
Hopefully it's my third item at least. Maybe.
I don't think so. I think you're going for a PMS. Like, what is the reason to have PMS in this game, in this lane, or in this game? I really don't see any reason to have PMS. There's nobody hitting you, not even the creeps.
I don't think I actually get it. I just
Okay.
At the beginning of the game, I always just put a bunch of items in there.
You didn't get any last hits. All right, you got the magic stick, and you replaced it with the yeah, that's fine. Let's skip a little bit. Instead of skipping, let's just for magic stick to work, you need to be in vision of Zeus. Let's see everything. See, right now you could have had like 6-7 charges on the stick, which would have given you full mana essentially. Not really full mana, but plenty of mana. What is 6 times 12? 6 12s are 72. So how much are you missing? It would have given you 72 mana, which is a third of your mana pool.
Right.
Wait, what the hell am I talking about? 12? This is not. This is not. This is not
15.
int.
Yeah.
This is 15. Exact. It's more than 72. I'm converting intelligence to mana. Sorry about that.
It's all good.
All right, let's fast forward this. We don't need to see this now. I want to see what your first item is after phase boots, because obviously phase boots is okay. So there's nothing obvious, right? Why phase boots? What are phase boots gonna do for you in this game? Right? Normally you want to get phase boots because you spin, you get closer to the hero, you can kill him. You also they allow you to run away, they allow you to phase through creeps, blah 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 blah. But in this lane, you don't need phase. Phase don't do anything for you at all. Jack complete. Jack. Against Invoker, phase doesn't help too much because you're being stunned or you're in a ice wall or whatever. Doesn't help at all. Against this guy, he traps you in trees. You have phase or not, doesn't really matter, right? PA, phase or not, you're slowed. She jumps on top of your head. There's no way you're going, right? You're not going anywhere. So 100% in this game, I would have had treads. Maybe I would have had brown boots, not even upgraded, because I don't think even having treads is sort of and has any value really. It gives you a little bit more attack speed. I would keep them on strength treads. That's pretty much just me. I like to buy treads only for the strength properties. Having 200 extra HP, which is pretty damn fantastic because you can essentially in this game you don't need to build Vanguard for those things, right? So you just have the 200 extra HP from the treads. I think I would have actually gone treads because I don't want to build Vanguard.
I mean, I really regretted not having like extra HP in this game specifically because they just did so much damage.
They have a lot of burst. Invoker has a Sunstrike. Zeus has a lot of burst. PA is also a burst hero, essentially physical burst. So you need survivability. You need HP, flat HP. That's what you need that desperately. And I think having strength treads wouldn't have been enough, but it would have been a lot in terms of your first item, sort of pre 10 minutes. You've got nearly 1,000 HP instead of having 800 HP. Okay, let's just move on. I really just want to see what your first item is. You're sticking in this lane. I see right here. Why not have a quick glance? Why not check out what's happening? You have your ult, don't you have your ult? You do have your ult, right? You have a mango, so that means you have your ult. So you have your ult. You could have been here. You could have definitely been here. It doesn't even matter if you get the kill or not. You definitely would have gotten gold and XP for the assists, and all it costs you is a 50 gold TP. which means that afterwards you could have gotten the empower from Magnus, and then you could have maybe pushed the tower with the team, secured some more early game advantage. You're just like you've got your ult, so what are you gonna do with it? If you're not doing anything with it, then might as well do something. I mean, if you're not planning on doing anything with it, then might as well go and use it wherever you can.
Okay.
Looks like you are going for upgraded stick, which is good. And after that, you're going for Yasha. I'm down with that. Um, I assume you're going for Manta. I really don't. Okay, now that I see your inventory, really don't like Bear Yasha, Bear Manta, because you kind of need to have like an upgraded stick, a Aquila, some stat items, some items, and then go for a very nice play. He bought back. I think it. Let's look at what we get in the fight recap.
Yeah. I mean, he actually
Um,
got more.
no, he lost 300 gold, and you still gained 154 gold, so it wasn't worth it for him. Not to mention he didn't get XP for it. You did, so. Wait,
Right.
can I see the XP? Whoa, 500 XP, dude. This is not. This is. Oh, this is not true because these are also the creeps dying within that time. All right, let's have a look. Okay, it says you got 336, and then he got 500. That's true, but what we're looking at is the overall goal change, including his buyback. So, including his buyback,
Oh,
the
okay, okay.
yeah, the
I
gold
got you.
he lost for dying and the gold he lost for the buyback, minus the gold he or plus the gold he gained from killing you, the sum is negative 300. So he lost out, and then you gained gold from killing him, and then you lost some gold, so you ended up having a 154 plus. So it's at the end of the day, it is still like 450 gold advantage. So yeah, not to mention you kind of messed up there, so you were gonna die anyway. So might as well get. I like this a
Right.
lot that you went for 175 HP, even though this is pretty horrible as far as stats go, as far as the gold for the value goes, because 20 damage is worth somewhere around 1300 gold, whereas 175 HP is, if you look at, for example, if you look at Vanguard, this item gives you 250, 1100 gold gives you 250 HP. Yeah, you're nearly getting half of that, so it's like 500 worth. So you pretty much, the trade off between these two is 500 gold, but at the same time, this is the health is what you need right now, really. So I'm okay with that.
Yeah, so I guess what I ended up doing is like I was like, well, this whole game I'm gonna need like kind of health items, so that's what I
Yeah,
thought is just with the Zeus Invoker PA and even like the Enigma Black Hole, whatever, like just having more health would be good.
yeah.
And I didn't really want to get a BKB, which I think is probably a mistake. Because it seemed like if I would have had a BK, maybe I should have just gotten a BKB, I guess. But
Um,
I just hate getting BKB on Juggernaut, I guess.
you shouldn't. It's a good item when the time is right. Um, I don't know about this game, to be honest, but let's wait and see. Let's skip a little bit. I wanna get down to like 14, 15. Oh yeah, this guy's got a blink now, and Magnus is reaching his blink timing. So look at what's happening. They're taking the tower. This is what we feared, that they would take the tower. They would be really good at taking the tower. You can't really defend high ground, and sorry, you can't really defend towers, and you can't really. What are you gonna do? So let's see what you do. And that's nice. Oh, nice. Got him. Got him. Oh, I just realized. Just now I realized because itemization is really a lot of how do you feel in this game? Like, what do you feel you lack? And just now I realized a blink dagger in this game would have been really fantastic for you because because then you've got four heroes who initiate instantly. You don't have to initiate on the same person. You can all initiate on different people. Well, not all of them, but essentially like you should initiate on a different person, and then Magnus and Darkseer obviously want to get the maximum amount of people, but you want to get the main target. So I would say probably Enigma or Invoker or PA, whoever is the main threat at that point in the game. So you can just easily just wait, let Magnus RP or whatever, and then blink on the target in the backline, whoever is maybe isolated, prime target, just prime target. Right.
Yeah, so I guess I don't remember what I actually got in this game, but I guess what I would think is like we don't have anyone to actually be at the front
You do, of
except
course you
for
do.
me.
No, no, dude. You've
Like
got
Legion at the front, or
you've got Darkseer, you've got Legion Commander, you've got an RP from the Magnus, and then Magnus himself. So you've got plenty of frontliners. Oh, the courier. The courier was there. I would have 100%. I would have stopped my TP even if there was like small chance, like minuscule chance. I would have taken it. I love killing couriers. Like look at my courier kills, man. Look at that. It's not a lot, but it's still 300 is a lot. I think.
let's yeah, that's quite a bit. Yeah, I have
Yeah, yeah.
84.
84. 84 is pretty
Honestly, I
decent.
don't
Huh?
think I saw it, to be honest.
Okay.
I didn't even see it when we were when we were watching it again.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't think I saw it at the
It
time.
was like a few milliseconds, really. Anyway, all right. So here we have 15 minutes now. Magnus has got his blink. Legion Commander's got his blink. Dark's dude. What are you doing? This is prime time. This is your window here. Right? This is where essentially what you need to be doing is taking towers, killing the enemy team, putting boards in their jungle, and making sure that the only person who can farm outside the base is Nature's Prophet because you can't really stop him. So
Okay.
really, this is the time that you should have been pushing, not farming jungle. You see, you look up on the HUD, and you see people have got ultimates. Obviously, Magnus just used his right now, but before that he did. You see people have ultimates. You go there. You go with your team, and you go push the towers, and you go take team fights, and you take advantage because winning late game against heroes who defend high ground really well with a team who doesn't take high ground really well or doesn't siege towers really well, you're not gonna have a good time. Doesn't matter how well you play.
Right. Okay.
What the hell? Ended up working out. I guess it's okay. Oh god. Yeah. So far, I'd say Blink really stands out to me, and this is what itemization is, right? It is understanding which of the 5 pillars of Dota you lack. 5 pillars being damage, durability, disable, mana, and mobility. So 100%, I think with not even that you lack mobility, but more like because your team is so incredibly mobile right now, and also the enemy team is quite mobile that you are just going to be always on the back foot. You're going to be waiting for people. You're going to be the reaction. People are going to be doing things. You're going to be reacting to them, and you don't want that as a carry. You want to be in control of the pace of the team fight, or where you want to be in a team fight. So if everybody is faster than you, then you need to catch up. I think you go for Invis in this game as in Shadowblade. I really like that. It is a mobility item in many ways. You did. Really? The hell?
Yeah.
He's dead. That is a dead Magnus.
Yeah, I mean, obviously we're all about the same skill level, but he had a pretty bad game, I'd say, but in the nicest way possible.
um, Enigma is really good against Juggernaut because of the BKB piercing stun. So
Right.
essentially what you were doing here, your Darkseer is not like you're pushing the enemy line, right? You're on the enemy side of the map, and you're there without most of your team. Literally, there's only one person with you, so it was dangerous. You need. It's not your fault. What your fault is that you were there and not urging your team to go with you, because essentially your team should have been there with you. To be very honest, you all should have been there pushing. Because I think you guys could have. Because right now Invoker doesn't have much. Right, he has at least another 2 minutes of farm before he's gonna do anything. Right. So that means you've got a big advantage in the fact that you are going to be 4v5, and one of the main high ground defenders on the enemy team, or tower defenders, is not going to be there. Enigma is probably the main one actually, but Invokers, yeah, they're both pretty important. Because with Enigma, it's not the black hole, but the threat of the black hole, which prevents you from pushing high ground the way you would without the black hole. The way you
Right.
would in normal terms. But with Invoker, it's just the deep push. Really, it's just constant deep push. It's just hard to deal with. And obviously with Furion, it's the fact that while you're pushing, he's also pushing some other lane, and you can't do it. So it,
Yeah, I mean, it was like really hard to get the Legion to group up with us most of the game.
yeah, that's
But
unfortunately that's. Legion was here. This was on a plus 14. It was plus 14. Yeah, plus
yeah,
14, easy plus 14.
I mean, like we definitely like our team like kind of threw was just like giving up, and then
Yeah,
uh
this Legion is very representative of why people hate Legion Jungle, because the thing is, like, Legion Jungle is so good. It is so good, but if you don't play Legion Jungle the way you're supposed to, because Legion Jungle basically means you're ready to fight 24/7, or whenever your ult is up, or even when your ult isn't up. You're so Legion is so good at taking fights. I don't know what the hell this
right.
ridiculous person is doing. He's not joining team fights. I don't know why. I don't know what he's trying to do. Is he trying to win against that late game team? I don't know, but he's not gonna win.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I think actually if I remember right, like our team
Yeah.
TP's back to help the Legion instead
Mm.
of pushing,
I mean that
and then we
skewer
die.
that skewer was actually pretty good. Like, that was a very very
Yeah, I
heads
mean
up
it was a
play.
really good.
Uh,
Yeah, it was really good. It just
like,
like
look at
killed
this, you guys are
TP.
pushing high ground. Yeah, you how are you pushing high ground at 21 minutes? That's actually amazing. Like, the fact that both PA and Nature's Prophet, well, not Nature's Prophet so much, but PA is dead, and it ended up not even, like, yeah, I don't know. If Legion was here, I think you guys could have, at the very least, done like 70 to 80% damage to that tower right there, because you got healing ward, Legion's got her attack speed increase and the heal as well. Oh, this might be a dead Furion. Ah, yeah, yay! Eat the tree! Ah! You know what you could have done? You could have Manta'd. You could have used Manta. It would have done a little bit more damage. I don't know if it would have been enough damage to kill him or not, but would have been.
I
I
mean,
think.
yeah, I think I delayed a second eating the tree, and then if I
Yeah.
would have done that and Manta, yeah,
Also, you
probably.
ate the wrong tree, so you had to go around.
Oh, like it was
You
like one down.
Yeah, like three down actually. You ate the opposite
Oh, was it
somehow.
that long?
Yeah, you really ate, like, yeah, you ate, like, you could have eaten this
Yeah.
tree. It was one down. Sorry, I thought you were here. It was one down, but it was like that one down enough. Well, that one down was enough to allow
Yeah, I
him to
think.
escape.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, come on, guys. Honestly, come on, please. Somebody get a
Nope.
dust. Like, you don't need a stout shield at this point. Could have had the dust. This guy actually has a free slot. This guy's got a free slot. Come on, please. So this is like the fourth time I'm watching Invoker escape with like 10 HP or 1 HP, I want to call it, actually, in the sense that he should have died. I exaggerate a lot, but you know what I mean. Oh, if you had a blink, that was a dead Invoker. This time it's a 60-second cooldown on your Ghost Walk. Except it's not 60 seconds, it's 45 seconds. But I'm pretty sure it's within that time right now. I think you could have killed him. I think you definitely could have killed him. Why do I remember 60 seconds? Whatever. I'm actually amazed at the fact that your team or you guys are pushing so well right now, I don't know how you lose this game.
Yeah, I mean that's how like I've had
Uh,
like 3 games in a row where
no,
like
don't take him away. Yeah.
and I mean this whole time Legion's just like I don't know farming jungle, but I mean
Yeah, I'm gonna end this replay, dude. Your Legion lost you the game. End the story. There's no way you're taking this to
okay.
late game. I'll skip it. I'll skip it to late game and see what happens. But um, I mean, as we said, like that's a prime example of what I was saying earlier, that this Legion commander obviously didn't understand at all the timing windows, what we spoke about earlier, because that guy's aiming for late game. He thinks that the timing window for his team, or rather for his hero, is it goes from like I could have actually checked the graph instead of going all the way back. But yeah, like what the hell? You know, you had all this opportunity. I think you guys must have tower dived or tried to get this past you. So you had all this time, 30 minutes you had where you could have won this game and you didn't. And literally right here, what is this? Around, can't really see it, but it's about 35 minutes. About 35 minutes, you guys got wiped and GG essentially. Yeah, it's right here actually.
Yeah, I mean
Oh, it is here. Yeah, right here. So, and you were pushing high ground, but now it's too late. Legion comes now, but it's too late now. Even if you have, okay, okay. So the gold advantage is already in their fate. This must have been another team fight actually. Yeah, there's a couple of other kills actually, but this is the big one, right? This is the really big one. Now you've got
right.
really really don't like this item build from coming from you, because what do you what is your item build really trying to do here?
Well my thought was is that or like what I thought was like basically I'm gonna at some point need more stats than what I would have with a blink dagger, but I did want mobility. So I like Shadow Blade I don't get any stats or anything. But I thought eventually that I would have Silver Edge and have like a mobility item plus like at least some extra tankiness versus just like a blink and like no extra tankiness. Um but yeah, I
The
mean
thing
I felt
is, the
really
thing is
weak.
with
Like
with
I
Blink
couldn't
Dagger. Yeah, go ahead.
I felt really weak and like no one else on my team was actually able to push high ground still
Yeah,
with me. Like no one
yeah,
in my team was there. So like I was the frontliner it seemed, but I was still just like too weak to
yeah,
do
yeah.
that.
I
Like
mean,
oh, maybe misplayed and just died too early with the ages,
I
but
I think I'm okay with Manta. I think it's a great item. I'm okay with Shadowblade. In fact, I'm more okay with Silver Edge. I would have liked you to have Silver Edge rather than this. But
okay.
it's the diffusal blade that's really throwing me off, because you got essentially your entire team, apart from you, of course, your entire team all have amazing disables, and I don't mean just regular disables. They have amazing disables. Legion Commander locks somebody down for what is that? 5.5 seconds. That's a long duration, and she's probably going to kill that person in that duration. This guy's
Right.
casts bouncing everywhere randomly. Everybody's getting stunned. This guy RP. What more do you want to say? This guy vacuum. What more do you want to say? Like, they've got amazing disables. You don't need disable. Diffusal blade is diffusal blade is one of those items which gives you more than one thing, one main thing. So what diffusal blade does, it gives you disable in the slow, the purge, and it gives you great stats, right? So, but when we talk about stats, it's agility only, right? That's the only main thing that we're talking about. So as far
Right.
as disable goes, you did not need that. You used 4 charges, sure, okay, but I don't. You really didn't need that. You have 4 allies. That's what is a team game. You've got your team to give you the disable. You didn't even need Basher this game, just because of the lineup that you have right now in your team. So instead of a diffuser, and agility really doesn't mean anything to you either, because if you get stunned or something, you're dead. The agility isn't giving you that much armor, isn't really, right click damage wise. there's so many other items that you could have made. You could have made a desolator here. You could have completed your silver edge. That means the enemy. You do that. You use that on PA. That's a dead PA. You know, it's you use that on, I don't know, invoker. Suddenly invoker isn't dealing any damage. You know, it goes to spells as well. For those 5 seconds, invoker isn't dealing damage. So
Wait,
it's
say that again. What do you mean?
the break reduces 50% output damage, like from spells
Oh,
as
okay.
well as magic
Right.
damage as well as physical damage. Just not items.
Okay.
So it's like it's a case of, I think just this one item is really not doing it.
Okay, so you would have gone like Manta, Silver Edge, something.
I probably wouldn't have gone Manta first item. Probably would have made some smaller items like, I don't know, probably Aquila, most likely Aquila actually, and then gone for Manta most likely, and then probably would have
Okay.
gone for Blink after that, and after Blink, I don't know, maybe BKB. I don't know. I can't really think because I haven't been following the game, every step by step. Because it's things like that you probably wanna, you get that from a feeling, like from the assessment of a team fight. There you go. It's not too bad so far. Invoke about back. Yeah, that was a good Sunstrike actually. So the buybacks, the big issue here is the chase that happened, and that's a little bit of a higher level misplay from you guys. Like, oh, I'm reducing the bloody volume. I need to slow it down, right? Um, Invoker bought back. I think so. Who else bought back? Somebody else bought back, right? Or was it just Invoker? Just the Invoker. Yeah. So I think as soon as Invoker buys back, you guys get back because you've already lost your ages. So you not only have you lost your ages, but you've actually lost like half your team as well at this point. As soon as Invoker buys back, this is where Invoker buys back. You've already lost, and you've lost half your team nearly. All right, so this is time to run away. Um, as soon
Right.
as you,
Okay.
plus you're chasing PA, you can't. It's the guy's super mobile. You're not gonna kill him. You can't outchase him. Outchase. Not in the middle of a creep wave and he has allies around. It's obviously not like anti-mates, but still. So
Right.
that greed, or how's that? Somebody in my comments section on YouTube said thirst. Thirst is real. Yeah, it's like it's really
Nice.
thirsty there for sure. Oh god. So yeah, needed to be liberal. So yes, you made a major mistake at the end, but honestly, this game was lost way before you made that mistake. Way before you made it.
Okay.
A blink would have been really nice here, wouldn't it?
Yeah,
you
would have been good.
you go in Viz, but you lost everything.